Why are people still shamed for living with their parents? I think living with family should be more normalized in the US in this day and age. It's pretty common in many other countries. And with the cost of housing and rent these days, it's practical in a lot of cases. As long as the individual is helping with the expenses or helping around the house, it should be alright. If they could have a semi-private area of the house that is sorta blocked off, that would be good too. I think a lot of it is the assumption that you don't know how to be fully independent dealing with all the bills and landlord and other issues, doing all the cleaning, planning meals and so on. Another big reason that's specifically related to dating is that the majority of people, in the West anyway, don't want to come over to their partners, or even worse, a hookup house and have that person's parent there. It gets really awkward. You can't really be yourself. Can't cuddle or walk around wearing whatever you want, etc. In the end, it really depends on the dynamic. I know some people that live at home, but their lives are quite separated from their parents. They cook their own meals in their own time, help with rent, bills, and the house is big enough that no one gets in the way. But I also know some people who are early 30s but still live like teenagers because they never bother to develop skills that come naturally when you live alone. I'm pushing 60. My late parents would be at 100 if they were still alive. That means they grew up in 30s, 40s. And from stories I've heard, people did live at home until they got married, no matter what age they were. I don't know when this trend started that if you're over 18 or graduated from college and you don't have your own place, you're a loser. I'm 25, making $15.45, paying $600 in rent with my mom. Don't be ashamed. You're saving tons of money, and honestly, I'm not even planning on moving out till I have a strong relationship with my S.O. Keep on savings. It suggests that you aren't independent. Obviously, this needn't be true, but that's the stereotype. Economical reasons aside, like in most of underdeveloped countries, people live with their parents up to 30 years or more. I think people are shamed because living with your parents is seen as a sin that you can't take care of yourself. And that's a big no-no. In the dating world, for example. Because independence is an American cultural value, people seem to forget that the cost of living has steadily increased over the past few decades, while pay rates have not. I'm 37. I bought my first house at 28. Then shortly after, I helped my mom buy a duplex. 2 years ago, I ended up getting laid off, and the neighborhood I bought my house in went to hell. So I sold my house and moved into the other unit of the duplex. I technically live with my mom but in separate units. I don't mind it now. We split all the bills and she isn't worried about bad tenants. And I can keep an eye on her now as she's 66 years old. It's not an ideal living situation, but it's much better than paying rent or buying a still overpriced house at the moment. Don't be ashamed. It'll help a ton in the long run. My friends always made fun of me before I finally moved out at 27 because I purchased a home mortgage-free. I make fun of them now. I have one friend we all shame for living at his parents' home. Age 27. There are multiple reasons. 1. His GF. 4 years relationship. Really wants to move together with him too. He cries about having no money, while paying no rent, no meals, no electricity bills, etc., and working a full-time job with really good payment. 3. He doesn't know how life works because he never stood on his own feet. It really depends on the person in question. Emo boomers could pay their way through college while buying their own home, working in retail. The realities have changed, but the expectation hasn't caught up. Don't feel ashamed, my dude. I'm 33 and living with my parents still. We've made a deal where, rather than paying them rent, their mortgage was paid off years ago. I instead put that rent money into a savings account so I can pay for a deposit on a house. I'm actually really close to being able to move out, but I recently changed jobs and I need 12 months of provable income before I can apply for a mortgage. I also need to figure out where to move to, as my current job is 25 miles away from home. So moving closer to work would be ideal. But at the same time, my fiancé lives and works 25 miles on the other side of work. So either I move closer to work and she quits her job and moves in with me, finding a new job in that area, or I buy a house close to where she is so she can keep her job, and I either commute a similar distance or else put in for a transfer to a closer location. Shamed in the US for some strange reason, pretty normal in Eastern Europe. Maybe people who shame you were once being told by their dads they're just wastes of sperm, or they're just privileged enough to not worry about housing costs. I live with my father, who's in his 70s, so we can look after him, especially that my mother recently died and we let him take care of our baby so he can avoid getting depressed and weakened. If anyone shamed me for the same reason, I would be dreaming of cutting someone's tongue off. Lolk. Culture. I come from a country where living with your parents is encouraged and very common. It's obviously not just culture, but it's a big part. It's mostly nonsense. In reality, it's very smart to stay with your parents and save money. Why live life on hard mode when a easy mode is available? Why eat ramen noodles? Work full-time in full-time school? Live in stress? Barely get sleep? But there is a kernel of truth. It's possible that you are not a smart person and are using your parents as a crutch because you are lazy, stupid, incompetent, blah blah blah. And it could be a sign that you have problems like mental health problems or physical health problems. Who gives a damn? I know so many people my age, 33, who are balding, aging rapidly, and just generally unhealthy, all just trying to keep up with the Joneses. I live with my mom because I don't have a partner and I don't want her living alone. I do small tasks like paying bills and doing housework. Save money and buy a house. Once you get into that rent cycle, it'll take you a decade to get out from under it. So you're 29. What's your life goal? Wait till Pops kicks the bucket and get the house.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.